You know, we all know a great sequel when we see one. Aliens, Empire Strikes Back, T2, Feast Your Eyes on Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Covenant, calling Raven.
Payback time.
Come with me if you want to live.
You just don't turn it off!
The fragile peace between apes and humans is threatened as mistrust and betrayal threaten to plunge both tribes into a war for dominance over the earth. What's going on, everyone? My name is Jason. Welcome back to Backtrack Cinema, where we talk movies of the past that you know and love. And welcome to my review of Dawn for the Planet of the Apes. Well, we are almost there, guys. We're almost at Kingdom of the Apes, so we're getting closer and closer. One more review to go, then Kingdom comes out. Then there'll be a huge ranking, but we are at Dawn. This is absolutely one of my favorite action sci-fi sequels, one of my favorite movies of all time. I've read in some way that people call this the Empire Strikes Back to the Planet of the Apes films, and they are not wrong. I mean, it takes a dark turn. It is one of the fan favorites. I don't know how most people would rank these, but Dawn of the Apes is high on my list. Just where they take this story, where they take the characters between Kova and Caesar and the human characters they introduce. Just pretty amazing stuff. And Matt Reeves coming in as the director. Just awesome stuff in this movie to talk about. So Dawn for the Planet of the Apes was released in 2014, directed by Matt Reeves and starring Andy Serkis, Gary Oldman, Keri Russell, and Jason Clarke. This movie just has everything you want in a sequel, and an action sci-fi sequel, and a Planet of the Apes sequel, wrapped up in a summer blockbuster movie with all the compelling stuff that it has to offer, with the dialogue, what's going on with the characters, and everything like that. And the first thing I absolutely love is Matt Reeves directing in this movie. This guy knows how to handle characters, knows how to handle story. Just everything he does in this movie is absolutely incredible, I feel. And that's starting with the beginning of this movie, where it actually hits too close to home in this movie. Because, you know, we went through the COVID outbreak, and you watch the beginning of this movie, and it's like seeing humanity almost getting completely wiped out. They show like it's like a little cut together of stuff of the president talking, stay indoors. You know, if you're sick, don't go out anywhere. And the apes are off doing their own thing. You know, they're getting smarter and smarter and smarter, but being left alone and everything. Really close to home when you watch this movie, if you think about it. And I love that opening shot where it's just focuses up a close-up of Caesar's eyes, and it's panning out, and you see him holding up, and they're ready to hunt a herd of deer down and stuff like that. And the end shot of the movie closes in on his eyes. So it's a fantastic opening and ending on the same shot. You know what I mean? Really, really great stuff. But this hunting scene right at the beginning, seeing where the apes are, it's like 10 to 12 years later or something like that. They're living up in their woods. They got, they got a home base. They got the culture, teaching the children that ape don't kill ape, teaching them their rules as a society. You know what I mean? But this action sequence here where Caesar has a son who's hunting with him, and, they get trapped down by a bear and everything, and Kova comes and saves the day. It's just an incredible action sequence, man. Absolutely love it. It's a movie that really understands what Planet of the Apes is all about. This dominance. Who deserves the world more? Humans or the apes? And this confrontation just escalates to war. But you get the great human characters helping the apes. Then you get great ape characters helping humans. Like, you got to have the nice human characters and the ape characters getting along, and then you got to have the opposite of that. It always works the best in these kind of movies, these Planet of the Apes movies. But I love Caesar and how, how much more weathered he looks, how much where he's brought his apes, and they're expanding. There's more of them now. They're speaking a little bit more fluently now. They got these rules like apes together, strong together. Ape doesn't kill ape. And the movie really shows how easily a war can really start. Because this movie starts off, this conflict starts off with a human character walking up, and out of fear, he ends up shooting Rocket's son, and injuring Rocket's son. And this is what really starts this thing, and how Caesar will do everything to protect his apes, and the humans are desperate, man. The reason they're up there is because they need a dam to get power, and they're desperate. And both arguments that the apes make and the humans make, you understand both of it, but they really do make you care about the apes. And there's enough human characteristics, human characters that make you care about them too.
It was a simian flu.
It was a virus created by scientists in a lab. The chimps they were testing on didn't really have a say in the matter.
Spare me the hippy dippy poo. You telling me you don't get sick to your stomach at the sight of them? Huh?
There's this racism in the movie, how he kind of hates apes because he thinks with the simian flu, he thinks they wiped them all out, but it was really humans who wiped each other out. So there's this ignorance with this character, and Matt Reeves poking in there about gun control too. Some people should just not carry a gun, especially if you're in fear, right? You know what I mean? Where he shoots this ape out of fear because he doesn't know because he's scared of it. You know what I mean? And it escalates quickly. Caesar does his best to do the best thing he can, but then we got Kova. This is where Kova enters into it. Kova, who's loyal to Caesar, but he's one of these apes. He was in the laboratory, and they were doing experiments on him all the time. They were hacking him up all the time. There's one great scene where he just always pushing up on Caesar, saying, "No, we gotta attack first before they attack us." And he's pointing at his scars, going, "Caesar, human work, human work, human work." And you really feel all the performances in this. You know what I mean? And then Kova takes it upon himself, and he really starts this war, in which ends up to this huge battle at the end. But Andy Serkis' performance, again, is so good in this movie, along with the other actors in the motion capture playing the apes and everything like this. So great in this, though. Andy Serkis, he has to go through a lot of emotions in this.
Caesar.
Who was that?
Hey, good man. Like you.
With the way Kova betrays him and almost kills him. He has a sick wife, and the way we cling on to Caesar and his emotions, how invested we are with these characters is unbelievable. There's a couple of human characters in this where Caesar really befriends them, and that's Jason Clarke's character and Keri Russell's character. They are the best representation of humans, and they save Caesar, and Caesar brings them back to where he grew up in the first movie, and then we see him in his house, and they kind of cling into this. And there's a great moment where Caesar is looking at an old video footage of him and James Franco, where he's teaching him how to speak and teaching him sign language and stuff. And the look on Caesar's face where, he's just remembering where he came from and stuff like that. And then, how he has a soft spot for humans. And so there's really compelling arguments because in a lot of ways, Koba's just not the stereotypical villain who's built on hatred. He has hatred for a reason. He doesn't trust the humans. If the humans get the lights, then they'll attack us, then they can rise again. So there's interesting arguments on both sides where Caesar doesn't want to go to war because the apes will get destroyed because they have many guns and everything. And so, but Kova starts this war, thinks he's killed Caesar. He starts killing his own kind, his own apes, if they don't follow him. He just becomes a tyrant, right? And then Caesar has to take him out. Such an interesting and compelling story. And there's just a lot of tension with the movie. And the way Matt Reeves breaks that tension up, right? Whenever you got the humans and the apes that's kind of working together, you think, yeah, something happens. This tension is right back with you again. And this end battle sequence with the apes and the humans is directed so well. I mean, at one point, I like this choice where Koba gets into this tank, and it's from his point of view, where you just see the tank move. You know what I mean? And you're seeing the war from almost like a 360 degrees. Really good camera work here. It's filled with action and suspense. And the end fight between Caesar and Koba is so good. you know, because Caesar's got to establish his dominance and establish that he is the true leader. It's such a good fight that's filled with so much emotion.
Caesar. Weak. Cobra. Weaker.
One part in this fight is where Caesar gets backed up and then he grabs a bar with his feet and kicks it back to Koba. Just the agility of these apes have when they're fighting and everything. It's just incredible to watch. You know, they know a war has started now, that the war has begun at the end of this movie. They were really hoping that humans and apes could coexist in the same world. And that's the whole compelling thing about the Apes franchise is can they? Will they? What will happen? Humans and the apes, right? Just so good. I think this one has a much better score this time in this movie. It has a more signature score with whenever you're around the apes, whenever you're around the humans. You know, when they're building the tension up, it has this real epic kind of cinematic score to it. I think they did a much better job with the score in this and capturing the emotions. The production design of where the apes live and where the city's covered with vegetation and vines and plant life and all that kind of stuff is done so well. I was watching the behind the scenes and the production designer, even though he made everything, it's like not all filmed on location, but he made everything out of real elements, you know, real earthly elements, like made from real wood and made from real vegetation. So that's what makes it work so well. I mean, you're really immersed into the world. You really feel the whole world around you, the world building, you know what I mean? See, Matt Reeves is a different director than Rupert Wyatt from the first movie. He really sits on the drama, lets you soak in the dialogue, soak in the drama, not moving the camera a whole lot with scenes like that. Right on the actors really taking in the performance, which allows you to feel everything, you know what I mean? Just fantastic. I mean, there's just so much this movie has with its good writing, great direction. There's themes of you know of there's love in there. There's respect. There's forgiveness. There's a great forgiveness story between Caesar and his son, where they're kind of like at odds, and by the end of the movie, you know, he says, "Sorry, father," and you know that they forgive each other, and a great ending to what is coming. You know what I mean? War for the Planet of the Apes. I just can't talk enough about this movie, guys. This movie I love so much. I just love it to pieces. It's great entertainment. It's got great acting, performances, everything about this movie. This clicks for me, man. I just got nothing bad to say about this movie, man. I'm going to give Dawn of the Apes from 2014 an A. Well, what about you guys? What do you think of Dawn of the Apes? Let me know in the comments below. We'll have a great discussion about it. And if you like this kind of content, then please subscribe to the channel. I'll put an end card up where you can go down the rabbit hole, watch the rest of my Planet of the Apes reviews and all that jazz. My name is Jason. I will see you next time. I thank you for watching, and I will see you in the movies. Cheers.